Okay, I just want to make sure we could hear you.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our PinkPowerLive testimonial call. We are really excited about our guest on here. We have some really great stories for you guys, how Plexus has really impacted their lives. I am Kara Flippin. I'm a Senior Ruby Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and we just want you guys to know that this event is not sponsored by Plexus Worldwide. We are all independent ambassadors, and the stories that you hear vary from person to person, and we can't guarantee the same results for everybody, but we do want these people to give them the chance to share their stories and just share how Plexus has impacted their lives. So we hope that you enjoy these awesome testimonies.
Yes, we are so excited. My name is Nikki Westerfield, Ruby Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and I want to introduce everybody, Brian Potts. He's going to share a little bit about his story, my stepdad, so I'm super honored to introduce him, and you can go ahead and take it away.
Good evening, everybody. My journey probably started much like a lot of other people's journey started. Even though mine's recent as an ambassador, I would say my journey probably started a couple years ago when I was feeling the pressure from my stepdaughter to take the products. So, like most uneducated people about the product, I fought it off and denied that I needed it when I needed it probably worse than anybody did. Um, so finally, after a couple years of some product laying around the house that my wife had, I secretly was sneaking it and taking it back in December, and finally ran out of it. Was going to have to order some more, so I got caught, and well, it snowballed from there. So I actually ordered some products from Nikki, and then she was like, "Well, hey, why don't you just become an ambassador and order your own products?" And yeah, that's how I got blindsided.
Yeah.
So I began the journey there, and it's been a good one so far. Um, I actually started taking the stuff since December, the last week of December, I've lost 51 pounds, and I'm off one of my diabetic medicines. I have two to go. So everybody that I've seen has nothing but positive things to say. I've uh, I've talked to many of my family members. Two of my cousins have joined. Their parents are taking it. It's so far on our family, it's had a real positive impact. And if it wasn't for Nikki, then none of this would even be possible. I wouldn't even be where I am right now. I'm starting to feel like a spring chicken again. Nikki, you got any questions?
Do you want to tell everybody how Plexus has helped you, like, eating better and, like, getting rid of your, like, sugar cravings and stuff like that?
Well, it's pretty strange because being a Southern boy as myself, a Florida boy, one of the main things for us, the main staple is sweet tea. And I know that I would probably drink at least 3 quarts a day, almost a gallon of tea a day of sweet tea. And I haven't, well, I say I haven't had one. I went to McDonald's while I was on the road on vacation, and we ended up getting a meal, so I got a drink with it, and I got a half sweet tea and a half sweet and unsweet tea, and that's the first tea I've had since Christmas time. That's a big feat for a boy from Florida, and it's really weird because I have no desire to even grab it out of the refrigerator that my wife makes for her and my daughter. It's weird things like that. I've never really was a sweet eater anyway. I was more of a meat and potato and beer kind of guy, and that's another thing. I just even beer. I think I've had three since Christmas. Um, Cravings for vegetables, lean proteins, a lot of fish, a lot of chicken. And it's not that I put myself on some diet. I haven't dieted anything. It just happened that way, and for some reason, my body craves these things, and it's been really good.
That's so crazy that that's how Plexus works for people. Like, you don't necessarily try to change your diet or eating habits or anything like that, but it does not make you want the bad junk anymore.
It's done it all on its own. I was talking to my uncle today, and I was like, I don't even know how to explain it. And he said it's starting to do the same thing for him, and he's only been doing it 8 days, and he's down 5 pounds. So it's a good thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's super excited.
So as far as like eating habits, how do you think that it's helped you like eat healthier as like meals and stuff? Do you think it's helped you with like meals and how you eat like breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacking or anything like that?
I pretty much just have the same thing I have always, which is fruit in the morning for breakfast. I drink a pink drink in the morning. Probably a lot of people don't do that, but I do it. And I'll have fruit after that for breakfast, and then I'll take my block before lunch, and I'll have a sandwich for lunch, and that's whole grain, by the way. Don't everybody get excited. So so I'll have a sandwich for lunch, and that's about it till dinner time, and then I'll have another pink drink, and then take my block for that. But as far as the eating habits go, I think the main thing is like Nikki and I talked earlier today. Water is the key. If you're not drinking your water, and your customers aren't drinking their water, it's not going to work to its fullest extent that it should. They're going to take a lot longer to see results and feel better. The water has been the big key thing for me. I think it helps you stay full. You don't want as much. I find myself actually not even before I dang near licked the plate. Now the plate actually goes back to the kitchen with food on it.
That's
So
awesome.
that's how it's affected me on that.
And how do you feel being on the product since December? How are you feeling?
Honestly, I feel 20 years younger, 15 years younger. And it's only getting better. Every day it's getting better.
You're still so early on in your journey, too. I'm excited to hear from you again in another 6 months or a year from now, just to see at the rate you're going and what it's doing for you.
Well, that's what I told her. She said, well, you need to talk for 6 or 7 minutes. I said, look here, I've only been in the bass for like 2 weeks. I mean, I'm not going to have a whole lot to say. But it's been.
I told him to speak from the heart, and he's done a good job. So I'm excited.
Hey, I'm jazzed up about it. It's been good so far.
What a lot of people don't know is I actually wanted him to start getting on the products because he had diabetes, and I was like, hello, Plexus is for people with diabetes. It was created for people with diabetes. And so, like, that's what I was really worried about when I wanted him to get on the products. And I didn't even care about making a sale off of him or anything. Like, I just wanted him to feel better and be better. And then he's lost all of these pounds on top of it. And I'm like, it's just crazy. And he feels great. And it's crazy to see him changing like this so quickly. It almost makes me want to cry. So I'm excited for you.
I've already dropped two shirt sizes and a pant size.
Ooh.
I need new work uniforms, but I'm not going to order them yet because it's just coming off too fast.
That's probably smart. Well, thank you so much for sharing your testimony with us. I'm really excited at how it's helped you. I know that feeling better, we don't realize how bad we feel until we start feeling better. And like you said, feeling 15, 20 years younger, that is great.
That's right, and it's all thanks to Nikki, and I love her, and I thank her every day for it.
Aw, love you.
I love you too.
So our next guest that is sharing is Kathy Dobson. She has been with us for probably a little over a year now. So she has a really incredible testimony too.
Hi everybody, my name's Kathy. I'm a silver, almost gold ambassador with Plexus. I've been with Plexus since November of 2014, or October of 2014. My journey started quite like a lot of other people's. Back in about 2008, I woke up one day with horrible pain down my right hip and down my right leg. Couldn't figure out what it was causing it. Started then with doctor's appointments, neurologist, pain management, orthopedic doctors, you name it, I went through it. Every test you can imagine, I was poked and prodded on. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I spent years going to I don't know how many different doctors, and
She freeze up on us?
I think she's freezing up a little bit.
Okay, well, why don't we just go ahead and jump to the next one, and you can introduce the next guest, and when she hops back on, we'll let her finish.
Okay, sounds good. So our next guest is going to be Danny. He's had an amazing journey with Plexus. So I will go ahead and shoot it on over to you.
Awesome, awesome. Again, I'm thankful to be on this call and be a part of sharing my testimonial with everybody. Plexus came to me sort of as a surprise. It was nothing I was looking for. It was nothing that was on my radar. It wasn't anything that I really wanted to try. I didn't even know about it. It's a funny story that I'm sure you've all heard, but Nikki hired me as a DJ for a party she was having in Springfield. And yes, Nikki was the crazy Plexus lady. There's no doubt about that. You know, and that's my initial reaction. I was like, wow, this girl's really, really pumped about this stuff. Whatever. It's a paying gig. I'm going to roll with it. And I sort of listened that whole night. And, again, I wasn't really paying attention because there were some great testimonials, but I didn't really listen to what was happening. I was sort of paying attention. And I did my job, and I went home. And the next day, my wife was out of town, and this is Shirley, my wife, beside me. She was in Chicago, and I was home by myself with no kids, so I got some time to really think about all the stuff that Plexus can do for me. And I'm a heavier guy. I've been overweight for a while, and my weight was always heading up. You know, if you're anything like me, out of high school, you were, you know, fit and fiddle, and then it just keeps declining, your weight, your health, and, you know, next thing you know, you're, you know, 60, 70 pounds heavier, you feel like crap, and you don't know what to do about it. And something clicked with me. I just knew Plexus was going to work. Deep down inside of me, I knew Plexus was going to work. So I just decided to do it. I reached out to Nikki. I figured out what I needed to do, how I needed to do it, and I believed right from the bat. I wasn't a skeptic. My wife will tell you about how she was a skeptic because she was the first one to make fun of me getting involved in this, because I made this video about myself like, hey, this is me, I'm Danny, I'm getting started on Plexus, follow me. And she's coming home from Chicago, and she calls me, and she's like, what's going on? You're doing what? What's happening? I'm like, yeah, well, we'll talk about it when you get home. So I was super pumped about the products. I don't know why it just clicked for me, but I just knew that there was something different about this product. I knew that this was something that I could succeed with. And from a business perspective, because I do have my business hat on sometimes in life, I was excited that the first time I heard about it was at Nikki's event. I was super pumped about that. I could be the one that could sort of bring this to my friends and family, and I could be the one that kind of shared this great product with them. So I was super pumped that I didn't know anything about it. I was super pumped that it wasn't on my Facebook feed, and I didn't know anything. So I did my research. My wife helped me do some research, and I started taking product. I started out with Plexus Slim, Boost, and Block. I started taking those products. Slim, I started noticing immediately. I am a Diet Coke drinker. I was a Diet Coke drinker because I haven't had a Diet Coke or a Coke Zero since the day I started Plexus, which was September 1st of last year, of 2015. I didn't drink them at home. I didn't have cans when I woke up, cans in the morning, cans at night. But almost every meal that I would have in any restaurant or takeout place, it would be this super big Diet Coke or Coke Zero. I'd always go to McDonald's because they had Coke Zero. And, you know, you chug those things down, and you get that sugar, and, you know, you make those bad food decisions. And that was me. Just things would sort of go out of control. And then when I started Plexus, I started drinking water, and I just noticed that I didn't have those cravings for pop anymore. And it wasn't until maybe December or November that I really noticed that I didn't even want it. If somebody put it right in front of my face, I didn't even really want it. It didn't sound good to me. I knew it wasn't going to taste good. I knew it wasn't going to taste like it used to back in the day, and I just stopped drinking it. And I didn't want it anymore, and that was kind of amazing to me because now every meal that I have, no matter what, it's always water. And just like Brian said, and I'll elaborate on that more, water is so important to Plexus. It makes everything. It'll make you healthy overall, but it just amplifies the effects of Plexus and what it can do for you. Block helped me not lose my old life. You know, everybody's been on diets. Everybody's tried a diet, and it turns into this new version of you. It's not the version you were. It's the version that your friends and family are like, oh, you want to come over for dinner tonight? Well, what can you eat? And you don't want that. That starts to get into your mind. You're like, that's not really what I want. I don't want people to start making their decisions around what diet I'm on. So I've not been on a diet since the day I started Plexus. I make better decisions. I try to make at least 2 good decisions a day with meals, and maybe one of those is not a great decision. I don't fall off the wagon, but if, you know, we're going out to dinner, I'm going to enjoy myself and block. If I take that about half an hour before my meals, that helps me get through those meals, those cheat meals, when I just want to have a couple beers with my friends, when I want to have pizza. You can still have pizza. You're not counting points. You're not counting calories. You know that the next day you just get back up, you take your Plexus Slim in the morning, you take your accelerator, your block, or your boost, and you go about your day, and it's a brand new day the next day. So I've lost about 26 pounds, and I'm to the point where I'm really starting to work out. So I'm actually starting to gain a little bit of weight now because I'm gaining muscle, which is a good thing. I almost made a Plexus post today about I gained 5 pounds, and I'm so happy because I'm positive that the 5 pounds that I've gained are all muscle. There's no doubt about it. I know that I've been working hard. I know that I've been doing great things. So I'm super pumped to gain 5 pounds because I know that it's turned fat into muscle, and fat is heavier than muscle. But one of my biggest things have been my blood pressure, my cholesterol levels. My work makes me get a blood draw every year for a biometric screening. So every year I have to have somebody prod me, take my blood, and then I have to go talk to the doctor, and they tell me how bad it is, and then I just kind of get through it and walk on, and whatever. I get a discount on my insurance. So it just so happened that this came about in August, which is a month before I started Plexus. So I was really bad. I was normal Danny. I went in, I did my blood draw, I got the results back. I didn't know what it meant. You know, obviously my doctor's like, hey, this isn't good. Things are going the wrong direction. And they actually put me on some blood pressure medication, to actually start controlling that. And then when I started Plexus in September, I decided I was going to stop it. I could do it myself. I knew I could get off that medication. So I stopped the medication, and then in February of 2016, I know you guys really can't read this. It's too small, but I took my overall cholesterol from 288 all the way down to 230. So I've had some huge drops, and these are measurable results. These are thanks to Plexus. These are exactly what I've done inside my body, not on the outside. These are the things that have changed me on the inside that are getting me healthy. And this is the stuff that's going to keep me around nagging her for a long time. This is the stuff that's going to keep me around taking care of my kids when they get old. I'm on a journey to somebody that I was back when I was in high school, and we all know how high school version of us feels. You know, energy, awesome. You could stay up all night, and, you know, you just felt great. It was just a whole different thing. So I've been on a fantastic journey. I've changed it up with products. Right now, we're in love with X Factor. It's a multivitamin with aloe that just sort of is pumped up with B12. We take that every day. We love that. My wife will talk a little more about the probiotic because she swears by that. It's been life-changing for her because she didn't have a lot of weight to lose, but she knew the benefits of getting healthy. So let's see. I think I sort of touched on everything. Yeah, I think I did everything. I probably talked for too long because I do. So I digress.
Thank you so much. I love hearing your story. I don't care how many times. I love it.
It's awesome that you have those measurable results with you too. Like that, we can't argue with that. Like that is there. We can argue if you feel better or not. We can't argue with your lipid panel levels.
Yeah, and you know, I talked to my doctor about it, and he said if you come back and it's 30 points lower for your next draw, he said I'm gonna start taking and selling Plexus because it's awesome because you just don't see those types of drops that quickly, and it is because of Plexus. Plexus just helped me make these better decisions. Without it, I mean, I've tried it all. I've tried all kinds of things, and believe me, nothing's worked like Plexus.
I love it. I know you probably weren't expecting it that quick either. I remember when I seen your post and I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Like I was just so excited.
Well, I knew I was going to make some changes. I mean, I knew it was going to get better. I just didn't know it was going to be that big of a jump. And I
Yeah.
didn't know it was that big of a jump until my doctor was like, no, seriously, that's kind of crazy. That's a big jump. And because I don't really know the numbers. I'm learning now, but, my whole life I didn't care about my cholesterol level, my triglycerides levels. But now, because of Plexus, I know what they are, and I know where I want to be.
All right. That's awesome.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. You have a really great testimony. Kathy, are you back with us now?
I'm here. I didn't know I was gone.
You totally froze up on us, but I'm glad you're back now. So if you want to share now, we'd love to have it.
I'm not sure where I left off, so.
I don't think that we heard anything. You froze up right away.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll just start from the beginning then. Mine started back in 2008. I woke up with a horrible pain in my leg, hip area. Went to my doctor. They ended up referring me to pain management, neurologists, orthopedic doctors. I ended up going through about 23 different sets of shots in my back to try to find the nerve that was causing the pain. After about 5 years, they found it, and they deadened the nerves, which I found out was only a temporary Band-Aid. Through that time, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I fought depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, bipolar. All my life, been on and off of antidepressants, anxiety medicines, you name it, I took it. At one point, I was taking 15 pills in the morning and 12 at night, and that's not counting what I took during the day. Pre-Plexus, I had weaned myself off of a lot of that, but in doing so, my pain level was sky high. I went from being an active mother of 4, working 60 hours a week as a CNA, to being told in 2010 that I needed to just file for disability because there was no way that I could continue to work and do my job, and that would be the best option for me. So at 36, 37 years of age, I was on disability and collecting a government check. Very much spirals your depression out of control even more when you're told, you can no longer work. And when your body pretty much shuts down from the pain. I ended up with normal everyday activities that most people take for granted. Cleaning your house, taking a shower, blow drying, fixing your hair, cooking dinner, grocery shopping, anything like that really took it out of me. It would take me an hour or better to do a sink full of dishes because I would have to keep stopping to take breaks because it hurts to stand that long. Any outings or family get-togethers or anything like that required me to know what the weather was going to be, if it was going to be cold, if it was going to rain, if it was going to get warmer. It sent me into a terrible flare-up with my fibromyalgia. So I had to make the decision if a couple hours worth of fun was worth 2 or 3 days in bed for me. My anxiety ended up getting to the point where I could no longer drive. I could no longer ride in a car unless I had to take Xanax, and I had to have my phone as a distraction, and sometimes not even that worked. So in early of 2014, my friend and sponsor, Angie Stedham, started posting about Plexus on her Facebook page, and I faithfully followed every post, every video, anything that she shared. I intently read it, watched it, but I was still very skeptical. How could this little pink drink and all these products fix something that no doctor could ever do anything except Band-Aid my pain, Band-Aid my issue, give me another pill to make up for the side effects from the pill before. So in October of that year, I won a 3-day trial, got it in the mail, Had to wait till Monday to start it because, you know, we all wait till Monday to start our diets. So I got it. I started it that Monday, and I was hooked. I loved the taste of the drink. It was something I could handle. I had Boost also, took it. I had energy those 3 days. So my next step was to figure out my financial part because I was on a fixed income to begin with. So I signed as an ambassador, had no intent of working the business. I was just going to get my products cheaper. So I got my welcome pack in the mail. I started product November 5th of 2014. I started with the triplex combo. On November 9th, I moved. And I spent the next week rearranging, putting things away, cleaning. And that was my aha moment with Plexus. And I get a little teary. For the first time in years, I wasn't in bed for days. For the whole week, I was up and on my feet for probably 8 hours a day working and putting my house together. And for the first time in, you know, since 2008, I didn't pay for that. So jump forward a few months. By February of 2015, my fibro pain was completely gone. I was able to stop my anxiety, depression, blood pressure, thyroid. I no longer take any kind of prescription medication. I have my ability to drive back. I still don't drive out of town, but we're working on that part of it. I can't say enough. My Mountain Dew addiction, I always forget about that. Mountain Dew was all I drank, and when I say all I drank, I mean that's it. From the time I got up in the morning until the time I went to bed at night, including leaving one on the bedside table, because, you know, you wake up in the middle of the night thirsty. I stopped my Mountain Dew addiction on day one of my product. Never wanted another one. Now I drink water 24 hours a day. I've never been a water drinker in my life. I've truly taken my life back. I can't put into words. About 6 months into my journey, one of my daughters looked at me and said, because of Plexus, I got my mom back. And it's true. You know, I'm able to do what I want. I'm able to live my life at 42 years of age. I have grandchildren. I'm able to play with them. I'm able to get down on the floor. I'm able to go shopping. You know, never be afraid to take a chance. To take your life back, I promise it's worth it if you take the chance. And, you know, give the products the 60-day trial. Within 60 days, it didn't even take me that long. I definitely had some non-scale victories, you know, that gave me my life back, and I'm so, so blessed to be able to be on this journey.
That's so awesome. Wow.
Kathy it's so crazy because she lives in Frankfort in Indiana, and I live in Missouri, so we're not very close, and I don't get to see her very often. And I remember going to Indiana for we had a Plexus event up there earlier on in her journey, and then we had another one. It was several months later, and I went up there that second time, and when I saw her, like, I didn't even hardly recognize her. She looked gorgeous. She had lost all this weight. Her skin was just glowing. You could just tell that she was happier and healthier. And watching her develop over the past year or so on this journey has been incredible. Like, I love the person that you are becoming. I love how you're feeling. I don't know. And like she said, she is like literally on the verge of gold. She's going to get it this month. So I don't know. It has absolutely changed her life in so many ways. And she made that decision, like, she was on a fixed income. She couldn't necessarily afford Plexus, but she figured it out, made it a priority, and thank God she did.
I love it so much that you got off all of those medications, because I know so many people, I mean, Google it, so many people are on medications for, like, depression and anxiety, and they're not good for you. And for people to get off of these things with our products, it's just amazing. And I love hearing about it. And you had a lot going on, and it just seems like Plexus has helped you so much. So I'm really excited for you.
Thank you so much.
So I guess you're welcome.
Thank you.
So we have one more guest left. You can go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. We have one more guest left. Shirley, if you want to go ahead and start your testimonial, I'm so excited to hear from you.
Yes. Hi, guys. Thank you for having me. I think Danny touched a little bit on how both of our journeys came to be, and I was much more hesitant about everything than he was. And I even will say that I was probably a little bit of a Plexus taker, a closet Plexus taker for a while. Danny knew that I was taking the products, but I was still not really wanting to tell my family or friends about it because of some of the things that I've done in the past as far as different diet things and different network marketing things. I was almost a little embarrassed, like, oh, they're going to be like, here goes Shirley again with her, you know, her little fad that she's on. So, and you know, when Danny does most things, he's usually all in. So I was like, oh boy, I can't believe we're doing this. So I started in September, just a little bit after Danny did. And as he mentioned, I was the first one to make fun of him. I feel bad now. But I was the first one to be his toughest critic about starting this. So he started, and then I started shortly thereafter, and I started with the Plexus Pink drink, which was great. And probably about 2 weeks in is when I started to notice a change in my cravings, my sugar cravings mostly. And that was great. You know, even at that point, I didn't know that I even wanted to post about it on Facebook. I was still a little, you know, gun shy about it. So I just continued. Things were going good. The analytical side of me was really skeptical still, like, what is in all this stuff? And, you know, is it full of chemicals and all these, you know, bad things? So I did a lot of research before I really wanted to share it with anybody. So I couldn't find anything bad, anything negative, anything that you shouldn't be taking. So that was awesome once I really dug in and looked a little bit deeper. The other thing, after the Slim, then I decided to try the Triplex. I started to lose a little bit of weight, and I had about 10 pounds that I needed to lose after my second baby. So I had my last 10 pounds. I started on the Triplex combo, and that was awesome. I right away started to notice that I just felt better. And it's kind of hard to explain. It wasn't that I had, you know, poor health to begin with, but I just had this different amount of energy that I just hadn't felt probably since before maybe I had kids. And I had more energy. My stomach, I had some stomach issues. Those were completely gone, probably within about the first month. And I won't touch on all that. Nobody needs to know all those details, but I had some stomach issues. So all of that is resolved, and I cannot stand behind these products more. So now you know, full in on the Triplex combo. I then started the X Factor maybe in December. I added that in, and then that just took it to the next level. I was having issues with my hair. After I had my second baby, I had lost so much hair with your crazy hormones. A lot of women experience that. And my hairdresser, every time I kept going back, she kept telling me, your hair is getting thinner and thinner, and I was just kind of beside myself. And so I was kind of changing the way I was doing my hair. And the last 2 times I've gone, she's like, oh my gosh, you have all this regrowth coming back in. So that was huge for me. And I don't think I've shared a lot to people about that, because I want to really see some of the regrowth. I have little baby banks coming in, and so that's been exciting. But, you know, even my testimony is, you know, minute compared to some of the others tonight. But having Danny's testimony behind mine just makes it even more of a, you know, something that I can stand behind, and I'm not embarrassed, like to share this with my friends from some of the things that have flopped in the past. And I was all gung-ho about these other things that I had tried in the past, and, you know, shared them with other friends and family, and they also kind of experienced the same things that I did. We all kind of flopped together. And then, you know, also on that side of things, I also was involved with some of the business side of the network marketing, and that also was a flop. So I just didn't really want to get my toes in until I knew what I was getting into. So I have had complete change of thought in the last probably, I would say probably since November, once I really was on the triplex, and that's when I was like, okay, this is something different. And it has been such an exciting one for the business side of things too. Most importantly, both of them, Danny and I, are feeling great. So we need that for our little guys to keep us running around, and we need to be able to keep up with them. So that's my story.
Having the same energy as your kids is pretty huge. I feel the same way with that, just being able to keep up with my 1- and 3-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you so much.
And for all of the ambassadors on here listening, and the guests as well, but we just, like, one of the reasons we wanted to have this call is because these are all people on here that Nikki and I personally know, and we have relationships with, and we've watched them change and watched Plexus change them. And I know I've shared this in the past, but whenever I first joined Plexus, I just watched all these videos all the time of all these testimonies, and, like, literally could not believe what Plexus was doing for people, and it just gave me so much excitement. I couldn't help but share this with everybody because I knew they needed it. And I hope everybody that's listening to this tonight kind of feels like I felt in the beginning, like it just makes you excited about what these products are doing for people, and it makes you want to share because people need what we have. They're desperate for what we have. I mean, I don't know, Plexus helps issues all across the board. So I'm really excited for everybody that was on here tonight, and I really appreciate you guys taking time out of your night to share with us and to pour into everybody else as well. Nikki, do you have anything?
It's seriously amazing.
Go ahead.
I just was going to say, it's just amazing because, like, we have the best job ever. Like, we literally have products that are changing people's lives, and I remember when I first started taking Plexus, I was skeptic too, and I remember hearing people saying, like, our products are literally changing lives, people that had been in the business longer than me. And now when I hear people say that, I'm like, yeah, they are. And I remember when I would hear that when I first started, I would be like, these people are crazy. Products don't change lives. And they are. And our products are. And other products might not be, but our Plexus products are. And it just makes me so excited. And I love our job so much because we get to help people, and there's no greater feeling than being able to help people. It just makes me really excited.
And after being at some conventions and stuff in the past, and just having the opportunity to hear some of our corporate leaders share about, you know, what they put into our products, they don't settle for anything less than the best, and they want to make sure that they are, like Shirley shared, like, the ingredients, they are good, solid ingredients, and they're not wanting to put chemicals into our body or anything that might harm us in the future. So I'm very, very thankful for that as well. I'm even able to give it to my daughter, and it's helped her because it's, I know. But
it's amazing. Yes. My daughter takes the Chewables X Factor vitamin, and every single day she's like, Mommy, I want my Plexus vitamin, and she loves it, and it feels so good to be able to give a 3-year-old something and actually feel sick at all. So I love it.
Yes. All right, well, I guess we can go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys for being on here tonight, and we will see you next week. We have Tamara Holloway joining us, so we're excited for her to share with us all of her tips. She was actually the top credit earner at Leaders Retreater Convention last year. Anyway, she really knows what she's doing. So, convention, okay. Yeah, she was the top credit earner, and she was the Diamond Ambassador, so she's going to have a lot of great things to share with us.
Yes, thank you guys so much, and I hope everybody got a lot out of this tonight.
Good night.